Hello and welcome to DJ course with Fulmo. We're going to learn all that is needed in order to make this controller work. Also, what does the program do? How do we work as DJs? And this is going to be a lot of fun, so let's start. So, the first thing we're going to see about the controller is that it is made out of three parts. The mixer and the decks. We have decks A and B and the mixer in the middle. Now, the first thing in the mixer, we see that we have these four sliders, the four faders, that we have one for each channel. We have 4 channels on this controller, and today we're going to use only the main 1 and 2 channels. In order to load a song, I have the mouse here, and turning it right, I can go up and down on the song list and choose whichever song that I like. For example, if I choose this song and press the load A button right here, then the song goes to deck A. If I go pick a different song with the mouse, I go here and press load B, then the song is loaded to deck B. Now, in order for us to hear the song, all I need to do is to press this button here, the play button, and pick the fader up. And in order to stop it, I can press the pause button, and then it pauses. Good. Now, the second thing we're going to see is our filter. If I take the filter right, I stay with only the high frequencies. Let's see what it does. And if I take the filter left, I stay only with low frequencies. Good. Now, our first thing we're going to do when we want to mix a song is to take down the bass, which is the first knob right above the filter. Now, let's go over the mix. I want to choose a different song for deck B, so I'll go with the mouse, pick another song, press the load B button, and then is to press the play button and pick up the fader. For the mix, the point that we want to get in is exactly the beginning of the chorus or the drop, if there is any. So here we have one song, for example, that we play, and we're going to wait for the first beat of the chorus or the first beat of the drop, and then press the play button on the other deck. It's important to see that both syncs are pressed on. Let's skip a little bit. Now we have to see that both syncs are pressed on. Let's count 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, first thing, we're going to take the bass off. Switch the basses. Wait for the end of the drop, and that was our mix. Last thing, we close everything, all the effects, and get ready for the second song, the next song for the next mix. Okay. Now the next part is going to be our pitch, which will take the BPM higher or lower, and we're going to see exactly how it works. So we have the song playing, and if I take the slider down, the song becomes faster. If I take it back up, it becomes slower. When there's light here, it means that it is exactly the original BPM of the song. Over here are the pads. We have 8 pads that we can use for a few things, and the main thing is the cues. Now, we can put any type of cue that we want, actually, and the first cue that we are going to use is just the beginning of the song, and that is just the first note of the song, and usually the part that we will start the mix from. Now, if I want to put a new cue on one of the pads, I can just press an empty one, it becomes colorful. If I want to delete a cue, I can just press the shift button, hold it, and press on the cue, and now it's deleted. Over here we have our sampler, and we can put whichever samples that we want and play them on top of the song that is playing. So for example, if I have a song playing and I can use it together, it gives more energy to the song, and we can use it whenever we feel that it's supposed to be played. Up here we have our effects. We have a few knobs that we can use for different effects, and the one that we have here is the delay effect, which is very helpful for making cool mixes. Now, the way it works is actually, if you open it, you can see this echo going on until the song disappears. And to close it, we just turn it back and press this lock button. Now, the big wheel we have here is called the jog, which can help us get the song further or backwards if we want to slow it down. And this is very helpful for mixing in case we enter too early, in case we want to take the song a little bit slower so our mix can be more perfect. We can also use the jog for scratching. That means taking it back and forth over a certain part of the song, and it can be very cool. Like, for example, if you go like this over a song, and it can sound so. If we want to make the song a little faster for a small period, we can turn the jog to the right side, then it becomes a little faster, and if you want to slow it down to the left side, then the song becomes a little slower. Now, the strip search here is very useful. We can go to whichever point that we want to on the song, and it just takes us there. So if, for example, a song is playing, if you want to jump to the beginning of the song, we can just press the beginning of the strip search, and then the song starts from the beginning. If we want to go to a certain point, we can go like this, or to the ending of the song. These are our cables. We have 3 basic cables that we need in order for this to work. The first one, the power cable that gives us the electricity for the controller to work. We have the audio cable, in this case the XLR, and we have the USB cable that is connected straight to the computer from the controller. So over here we can see all the parts on the program. We have the song list here, we have the folders on the left side, and we have both songs, the left one, the left deck, and the right deck. Now here we can see in this clock, we see the main details that we need to know, which are the BPM of the song, the current BPM of the song. The original BPM is written here on the side and also on the song itself. We can also see here the time that we have left until the song ends, which is very important to notice all the time. These two tracks are the visualization of what we are actually hearing. So when the left song, the left deck is playing, that means our upper track is going to go from right to left, just like we see here right now. And when the right song is playing, we can see the bottom track playing. Up here we have the timeline of each song. We can see where we are right now and how much time also we have until the song will be over. Now, the pitch here affects what we see here on the clock. So when I take it down, I see the BPM goes up, and also the percentage here goes up. And here we have our range. Now it says plus minus 8. That means it can go max by 8% or down 8% from the original tempo, the original BPM. So if I take the thing off and I'll load the song, as we see, the original BPM is 105. So if I take it up by until the end, it goes up by 8%, and if I take it down, it goes down 8%. Down all the way is down 8%, and up all the way will be plus 8%. When we press here the effects button, we can see our display of effects. We can choose whichever effects we want on each knob. So here I put the delay on the first one and the delay here on the first one. That's my most useful effect. We can also choose different effects. Here we have a long list of effects. For example, the phaser and the reverb and echo. So we can basically put whichever effects we want to on each knob. Here we can see that the beats count is right now 1, which is very ideal for the delay to work. We can make it also 2, 4, 8, or also less than 1, but for the delay effect, the 1 usually suits best. We also have the option to record whatever we play when we press here and here again. And now whatever I play will be recorded, and when I save it, it will go automatically to the recorded folder, so I can listen to it and learn which parts were better in the mix, which parts can be better, and also if I want to make a whole set, that is also a good option. Now, when we mix both songs, we should also look at our grid and see that both songs go together also graphically. As we said earlier, we have to wait for the first beat of the chorus, and then we can press the play button on the second deck. Let's see how it shows on the program. Now, as we see, the bars align together. we can see the two tracks playing together and the beats go together as well. That means that the mix is probably going to sound well. Now this part is where our folder is at, and if we want to create a new folder, we only have to press this sign here of the plus box, and then we have to create one here. Double click it, we can rename it to whatever we want, and then drag the songs into the song area or into the folder itself. Now the jog also helps us whenever we enter the song on the next track too early or too late. In these cases we can either turn right the jog or turn it left. Let's see when we do it. Now we have our song playing and we want to wait for the first beat in the beginning of our chorus. We can skip to that part. Now that's our chorus, so let's take it back a little bit. And both things are pressed, so we only have to press the play button. Now we're going to enter a little bit early, and the way we can hear that it's early, it's actually not going quite good as we can hear, but if I take it left and switch the jog, it's now much better. Also, for the other scenario, if we get too late with the next track, then we can still turn the jog to the other position. Let's see what happens when the song enters a little bit too late. We wait for the first beat of the chorus and enter a little bit too late. Let's hear what happens. A little bit messy, so we need to turn the jog forward until we hear that both songs sit together, for example like this, and then we can get the song out with either the filter or an effect. Over here we have our master volume, which turns up and down the whole volume of what we hear, and over here we have the 4 gains. The difference is that a gain is in charge of only the volume of its own channel, while the master one is in charge of all 4 channels. The knobs on these 4 are responsible for the middle frequencies. When it's written mid, that means, for example, if I take it down, all the middle frequencies disappear. The upper knob is responsible for the high frequencies. That means if I take it down, I will stay only with the bass and middle frequencies. So this is the cable of the earphones. We can use the earphone to listen to the next track that is going to be played before it's actually played on the speakers. The way we do it is we press these buttons, the Q buttons, and when the button of the headphone is on, we can hear the song playing. Now we can hear the song playing on the earphones without it being played on the speakers. For example, now this is playing, and down here we can change the volume of what we hear. So one ear listens to the song that is going to be played, and one ear listens to the song that is outside, and we can mix this way while listening to both songs simultaneously. Thank you for watching the DJ course online with Fulmo. This was the beginning part, the basics of how to DJ. On the next video we're going to get into more details. Until then, have a good time and see you on the next video.
I wanted you to know, whoa.